let's get into it then. Some people saying decision made. What is the decision? Well, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? Because there is a meeting today. This has come out from Athletic and many other sources that the meeting is actually taking place in London right now. So Jim Radcliffe, Joel Glazer, Barada, Ashworth, who else is there? Brailsford, Blanc, Wilcox, all talking today in London in a pre-arranged meeting that was going to take place strategically. Ten Hag will be on that agenda, and a decision has been made. How we're going to get fed that information is going to be very interesting. What I was told this morning from a very good source was that that decision has been made. They're just going to ratify it today and make sure they're happy with it. There's no way they're in London today, having met on Sunday and Monday, and they're still deciding. They know what they want to do. How it gets put out will be very interesting. Obviously, if he's sacked, there'll have to be an official statement. If he's not sacked, it'll probably just be we carry on as normal. So we'll wait and see what it is. But there is absolutely no way, I was told this morning, that, and the person didn't know the outcome, because you're not going to know the outcome. But the general consensus is that there is no way they are down in London today chewing the fat about whether to keep Ten Hag or not. They've had 48 hours. They've had a week. You know, they know what they want to do. It's just about how they're going to do it and what the next step is based on that decision. Also, I was told this morning that there are a lot of players at United, obviously, who want Ten Hag to stay. I mean, some of them have been bought by him, but there are players that have raised their concerns as well. Not happy stylistically with the way the club are playing. Would rather go back to a different style of football, which is a little bit more suitable to how they want to play. You know, a little bit more compact at the back, a little bit more counter-attack. So, look, players are going to say these things, whether they get listened to or not. And also, no, don't know who those players are. Don't want to know who those players are. It's irrelevant. A footballer having a concern and expressing it to their boss or bosses is not unusual. Whether the club wants to listen to them out or that, I don't think they do. I think if player A speaks to the board or whoever, says, I'm not happy with how we're playing. I think one of the big problems is how we're playing. I think we should play a more direct brand of football, or I think we should park the bus. That doesn't fit in with what any of us want to do anyway. They want to play a style of football that is, you know, revered. They're not going to listen to players and go, yeah, I think we should go back to parking the bus or anything like that. So, no, I don't think they'll get listened to on that. But obviously, you're going to have players who are happy, and you're going to have players who are not happy. A few people talking about Tuchel. Laurie Whitwell is saying that no approach has been made to Thomas Tuchel. As we understood yesterday, Thomas Tuchel noise is coming from Thomas Tuchel. I know Mirror last night were talking about Tuchel. Anybody of credibility at the moment is saying this is just not true. They're not talking to Thomas Tuchel. He was considered in the summer. But we'll break down the various options on who could replace Ten Hag if it happens in a moment. But let's talk about where we are actually at this morning. What we think the decision might be. Honestly, I think the thumbnail said it. Some people are saying they like the thumbnail. Just do it. No, we haven't got a brand deal with Nike. I just want a decision. I'm tired. I want to move on. There's so much stuff I want to talk about around Man United. I mean, we've not won a Premier League game in, we lost to Spurs and we drew with Villa. I think there is so much to talk about where we're going wrong fundamentally. And we're still talking about whether we're going to sack the manager or whether we're going to keep the manager. So for the love of God, please just let us know and we can move on, because it's just this halfway house of decision making that's really, really frustrating. So yeah, look, I think it's obviously we're going to find out today one way or another. Decision will have been made. The fact that the decision has been made and it's not been made publicly, what does that make me think? I'm not going to sit on the fence. I think they're going to stick with him. I think if they're clearly not in that meeting today going, what should we do? What we're going to do? Balls are red, but you know they're not going to be doing that, because that makes them look completely amateurish to still be sat there on Tuesday morning going, what should we do? What should we do? That leans towards an obvious decision if you're still talking about it, and I think we can all figure out what that should be. So I think what today will be is, decision has been made. How do we move forward? What's the strategy on moving forward? If we're keeping Ten Hag, how do we strategize this? How long are we staying with this? If we're getting rid of Ten Hag, how do we strategize the replacement? Are we going to go rude? Are we going to look at something incredible? Are we going to wait till the summer? what are we going to do about certain signings that are going to be very unhappy that they've been bought in under a manager that's now not here. So I get the point of the meeting today, and also to be fair, it was already in place. So it's not a meeting that's been set up about Ten Hag. It was already in place, but it isn't as simple as sack him, let's move on. There's a whole load of stuff there's so many discussions with so many people if you sack Ten Hag. And on the other hand, if you keep him, there's also a lot of strategy in other areas, PR, all sorts of stuff, So I think I get that. There was an article saying that Sir Jim Radcliffe's got the final say. I mean, why has Sir Jim Radcliffe got the final say? I mean, he's not a football man. I've listened to him loads of times talk about football. I'm sure he likes football, but he doesn't strike me as a guy who I would want to listen to about football. Why has he got the final say on it? If he gets advice from Barada and Ashworth and Wilcox and Blanc and goes against that advice, that's terrifying. He will be led by the experts. So, yeah, I think Sir Jim, if they're saying he's just going to, pardon the pun, Sir Jim Radcliffe is going to ratify the decision. If those people say sack Ten Hag, he's not going to go against it, and he shouldn't go against it. And if those people say let's keep Ten Hag, he's not going to go against it, and he shouldn't go against it. I think with what we've got with Sir Jim and Joel Glazer is they sign it off. They're not going to be those people. I mean, Joel Glazer apparently was that person. He would say, no, we're not selling that player. Yes, we're going to sign that player. But I don't think for 1 minute Sir Jim Radcliffe's going to do it. They should go for Ross. Somebody, says Ryan Football. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Hope the family is well, says Man United fan for life. You too as well. Thank you very much for that. Lots of people just saying what they want to happen. I don't care. I don't think anybody really cares. Well done. You've got an opinion. I just want to know what it is now. I'm not massively bothered either way as long as we know what happens so we can move on. And when we get that decision, I'll be moving on, whatever it is. I've said my piece on what I don't want us to be, but if Ineos are in charge and they decide to sack Ten Hag, then we move on. That is absolutely clear. What I will say is what is becoming very, very clear is, unfortunately, that when you leave uncertainty, conspiracy thrives in anywhere. And I think what Ineos need to do very, very quickly is make the decision and then define what's coming next. And what I mean by that is, and Mel G is absolutely spot on, clarity is key. Sanil says Tuchel in, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. The speculative people who are going to destroy this football club with their speculative nonsense. Because there will be people saying Zidane, Tuchel, this, that, and the other. And your emotions will get attached to that. And you'll crave that like you crave a Krispy Kreme. And when you don't get your Krispy Kreme, you're going to get agitated. And when you get agitated, you're going to start attacking things again. And this is what I mean. We need clarity very, very quickly, because already there are movements around replacements. There is a Tuchel movement. There is a Zidane movement. There is a wait till the summer and get a Nagelsmann or an Amorim movement. There is let's go with Ruud van Nistelrooy till the summer movement. And they're not all intertwined and holding hands. They are very separate factions. And this is why clarity is key. Because in some minds, people have already moved past Ten Hag and are now team this, team that. And the division continues because division sells. That's what it does. Scream and shout and sell your product. So they need to be, if they sack Ten Hag, we can't leave it a few days about what's going to happen, because in that uncertainty, there will be toxicity, there will be arguments. It needs to be, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening. And what I would expect if they sack Ten Hag would be Ten Hag is sacked, Ruud van Nistelrooy is the interim for the foreseeable future, and we will look at it in the summer. Shut it down. Move on. Tuchel, Zidane, whoever else, sit down. You're not part of the conversation. We move on. And that needs to happen. Conversely, if they sack Ten Hag and Tuchel comes in this afternoon, you shut everything else down really, really quickly. But it needs to be decision, clarity, and shut it up. Because if they've not learned anything about this fan base, is if you give any uncertainty, you will reap the whirlwind of that very, very quickly. Because there will be people that wanted Ten Hag out, that then don't get too cool and will be angry again, and then the anger will never stop. We need to try and get some clarity and unity on the decision they make very, very quickly. And the only way you do that is through strong communication and leadership. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video, because we all know only legends like videos, and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video, and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, as always.